Hey everybody, good morning. It's Jillian. I'm up early. No coffee. No, I'm not even wearing a sweater yet. My dog's not even up yet. Um, wow. Okay. So, we're paying attention to the news. I know all of you guys are. And another person passed away last night or yesterday. Not anybody in my immediate world, but someone that I know that knows somebody that was suffering a couple of days ago or a day ago from an acute respiratory infection, like acute. Like they went to the nearest hospital, which is down here, right next to me. Okay. And she passed away from a heart attack. So they're not going to say too much that the coronavirus is pretty much here in the States, which it is, but right now, supposedly Ohio is like green, which means there's no coronavirus here, but people are mysteriously just suffering these major acute influenza respiratory attacks. I have a feeling it's not influenza, but what are you going to do? Unless they test for it, they're not going to know. But and if they do know, states are actually not going to report the virus in their. I mean, Florida's saying they don't have to report it. They have lawyers, okay? So, I mean, and I can understand why, because they don't want a major run on the grocery stores. They don't want major panic. I get it. But this is why you really have to understand the J juice now more than ever, because it's about releasing the excess, because those amount of antibodies that rapidly accumulate from an aggressive virus, they will do a number. That's what they call antibodies. Okay, antibodies means antibody. I mean, it's there to balance out when there's too much of something, but when there's so many antibodies, more than the body can handle, it destroys tissue, it destroys vital organs, and your lungs are a vital organ. I mean, you know what the vital organs are? Your lungs, your heart, your brain, your kidneys, your liver. Okay, and so when you have something such as communicable as this virus, holy shit. I mean, I haven't seen this many people die or suffer heart attacks or get sick. I mean, the flu has been around for the last however many years, but this is insane. So this coronavirus does exist. I'm kind of glad they're not mentioning it, because I would rather people think that it's a conspiracy, that America, because at this point, go get your top ramen. You guys go prep, get your stuff. I mean, what do you get? Get peanut butter, get things that's going to last you, get some top ramen, get something where it's very easy to make. What happens if the lights go out and you need to boil water? We'll hope you have a fireplace. Not saying that it's going to happen, but you just don't know with the amount of people dropping like flies, okay? Holy crap. Holy crap. So, I mean, there's 71 cases in Kentucky, right? South of us. We had one suspect case in southern Ohio. The guy was released. But, as soon as there's a suspect case, they have it, because there's always false negatives. I mean, come on. So anyways, so now more than ever, you guys need to prepare. You guys need to prepare. It's out there, okay? It's in your town. Now, as far as mold and yeast, yeah, with the J juice doing the white salt, the reason why there was so much mold and yeast on the top, not so much below the brine, but on the top, and why the cabbage was always expanding, was because of the amount of heavy metals that were in the pink salt. Okay, life forms like mold and yeast and protozoa and fungi, they thrive on carbon-based types of things. It's a carbon-based life form type of thing. And they thrive on trace minerals, heavy metals. And so when you have 82 and 86 heavy metals or trace minerals in the pink salt, then you're going to have mold and yeast. Yeast is also thrives off of heavy metals as well. Okay, and so So that's why the yeast and the mold grew on the J juice, because we used the stupid pink salt. So now we're using white salt, and was it Lactobacillus plantarum, which is what the cabbage gives off as far as probiotics. That specific strain actually it thrives in a high salt environment. They are one of the proteins that started out in salt water 3.9 billion freaking years ago. So we're bringing everything straight back to the beginning. And that's why the J juice is so revolutionary, and why it's so like a rebirth, because your cells are getting the amount of salt that it was exposed to way back in the beginning. Okay? So so that was an interesting piece of news. And yeah, I mean, lactobacillus is a type of endospore. It's a very, very highly indestructible, resilient type of bacteria that can live in high salinity and can thrive. And so the reason why the J juice wasn't poisonous, even with the mold growing on the top that you could scrape off with the pink salt, was because when you actually mixed and stirred, the salt and the lactobacillus killed the pathogens. But now we won't even have to do that. You don't even have to mix and stir. But I put in my book, you know, when I revised the recipe in my book, because I'm redoing the book plus adding a whole bunch of more stuff to it, I said, hey, if you guys, some of you are still using, let's say, the sea salt, because maybe you get white salt and think it's like white table salt, but no, it's sea salt and has all these minerals. Some of you will use the wrong salt inevitably, and you will see mold and yeast on the top. And so I will still take into account there's going to be people that are not going to be using the white salt for whatever reason. So I'm still going to factor in that if you get mold and yeast because you may be using the wrong salt, well, here is what you do. And, you know, just scrape off the top or mix and stir, and that's fine. But most likely, if you get mold and yeast, you're using the wrong salt. You're using a highly mineralized salt. And I don't know why. Well, I know why the holistic world and the fermentation world are promoting the pink salt, because it has less sodium chloride, more minerals, but that's actually heavy metals. So I actually put in parentheses what minerals are as far as trace minerals, and I put in parentheses heavy metals, because they're heavy metals. So so that solves the mystery and the issue. Not even mystery. So that solves the issue of the mold and the yeast. Okay. So so yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's the whole J juice. So, you know, you guys get on the J juice. People are dropping like flies around you. People are getting hit by respiratory infections and heart attacks, and they're not on the J juice. So you know that the rapid antibody accumulation from an aggressive virus in the environment will take down even the most healthiest person. Okay? And so the J juice will open up your sodium chloride channels, your motor neurons, and it will start purging out and start signaling apoptosis, apoptosis, as well as autophagy or autophagy, and the body will purge out the excess antibodies and all the stuff that doesn't belong. So that way you can fix the weaknesses, absorb the nutrients, and regenerate cells. And then that way you can be exposed to this crazy coronavirus, whatever it is, and you may get mild symptoms. But if you still have issues, you may get major symptoms. I don't know. Some of you have major predispositions that I don't feel sorry for. I mean, because, well, I mean, I do feel sorry for, but what do I say? I don't feel sorry for. That was for the trolls. Some of you do have major predispositions and you're trolling me, and I don't feel sorry because you've chosen that path. Okay, if you're listening to me right now and you're not doing the J juice and you have major predispositions and you're not doing the J juice, I'm not going to feel sorry, no. Because I mean, my husband said, like, when someone in my world is getting an operation, all that stuff, and I'm like, man, you know, people are, you know, are choosing these operations. They could be doing J juice. It's selective. Why are people selecting, you know, these type of surgeries when they know they could do something like this? But I understand, I get it, but it's just going to make it more complicated for you. It's just going to. And what do you do? I mean, when people make those choices, what do you do? And so I want to feel bad, but then I'm like, fuck, you know, I tell them about this juice. I say, okay, you can lose weight with this juice. You can lose weight with this juice, but you can't tell people that. They don't want to go through the purging. They don't want to go through the healing. They don't want to do that. And so in a lot of ways, you know, watching this coronavirus just take down people left and right, it's going to desensitize you. It's going to almost make you feel like you're cold. But in a way, it's a self-protection, because there's going to be so many people around you that are going to be dropping that you almost can't even really emote. I mean, you could feel bad, but you knew it was inevitable. And so you're just going to have to get used to it. Death is here. I mean, it happens. Life and death happens, but you don't have to be the one to die. Okay? So anyways, so I just woke up, no coffee. You're here in the raw form because, yeah, I mean, when somebody on my Facebook says that another friend on Facebook passed away, and then I'm looking at their page and it's everything that really looks like the coronavirus, oh my God. It's here. It's at Mercy Hospital, right down the street from me. Okay, that's pretty insane. Even though I'm sure I was hit by the coronavirus, but I can't prove it to you. I can't really, you know, substantiate it because I never got it tested. But it was an aggressive amount of mucus that came out of my body about a month ago or so. Okay, so if somebody has an aggressive amount of mucus just hitting them all at once, and if they don't have the right, or they don't have the electrolytes and the salt, the energy to purge it out, it's gonna heart attack, drown in their own stuff, stroke. That's what people die from, is pneumonia, gurgling, stroke, and heart attack. From what? From the rapid antibody accumulation. There is no antibody accumulation with the J juice because it actually purges out the antibodies, that which is causing your issues. When you get exposed to antigen and then the body makes antibodies, you are now transitioning to the new world. When the antibodies leave your body in some way, that is another transition. When that world still leaves its mark, but it's leaving your body, it's still going to say, hey, we're letting you know we're leaving, and you're going to have symptoms. That's the whole point of the J juice, is when you were bringing up the antibodies that are deep inside your body, they come to surface. You're going to revisit the worlds that visited you at the time that you were exposed. And some of you have so many weaknesses that you're going to be revisiting old worlds with the same trauma, and you're going to have the same experience. In a lot of ways, it may not be the same, but it'll be very similar. So the J juice will have you resolve the worlds that you dealt with, that you were introduced to way back before, as well as the worlds today, or trauma. And it will then heal and have you actually adapt properly to those worlds. So yeah, I mean, let's say one day you test positive for this disease, and then you go and do the J juice, you test negative for that same disease because those antibodies have left your body. Okay, so that's the whole point of J juice, is to release the excess and absorb what you need, because it's no freaking joke out there. Even though it's no confirmed cases in Ohio, but people are getting these sudden respiratory infections, just came out of nowhere, just completely just take a hold of their lungs, and then bam, they just drop from a heart attack because of the rapid antibody accumulation. They don't have the means to purge it out because they have stagnation in their lymph nodes, stagnation in the digestive system. They don't want to poop. They don't want to blow their nose. They want to take Mucinex and all that stuff. And the body cannot handle that many antibodies on the body, deluging it, and yeah. And that's why they put people on IVs, to try to break up the antibody acquisition. But if you already have a weak heart and weak lungs and a weak brain, and you already have weak, heart walls, capillary walls, then yeah, you're going to have sudden cardiac disease, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, heart attacks and die, a stroke. You won't die from cancer. Cancer is just letting you know that you have weaknesses and you better do something about it. People don't die from cancer. They die from heart attacks, strokes, and pneumonia, because it hits the vital organs and it shuts them down. Yes, the cancer and the disease and the chronic illness were catalysts, but those were your insurance policies to let you know you're going down the wrong road here, sir, ma'am. Okay? Either you change your ways or you're going to be subject to some balancing force that's going to wipe you out if you don't have what it takes. So people don't die from heart attacks. They don't die, or they do. People don't die from cancer. They don't die from disease or autoimmunity. They die from heart attacks, strokes, and pneumonia. So get on the juice. Use the white table salt. Okay, you won't have to deal with mold or yeast because there's no freaking heavy metals in the holistic, healthier table salt. Or sorry, holistic, healthier pink salt. I haven't drank any coffee today, so you're seeing me just woke up. I plan to get some stuff done. I'm up early. It's like 5:38 in the morning, so I'm just almost drunk with whatever. I don't know. In a lot of ways, a lot of this stuff is exciting because I want you guys to do this. I want you guys to see that it's no joke. You got to do this. And not that I want proof, but a lot of, it sucks to have proof. I mean, I don't want to prove that I'm right, that there might be something happening on the 26th or the 27th of February. We know that I was in the Air National Guard in California, and we were practicing, we're doing rotations of chemical warfare operation readiness back in the freaking 90s. Right now, people who are in the Air Guard are also practicing for some kind of pandemic, practicing how to work in chem warfare suits. Why would you work in chem warfare suits? How much chemical warfare is going to happen? Yeah, we hear about in Vietnam and Agent Orange, but I mean, when you go to Afghanistan, I mean, they don't, it's like if chemical warfare would have happened in Afghanistan or happened in Iran or Iraq, it would have already happened already. But no, when you're practicing rotations and practicing operation readiness, inspection, and readiness exercise for chem warfare, working in chem warfare suits, you're basically working at a FEMA quarantine camp, working around people who are afflicted. I'm sorry, but that's not going to be enough to protect anyone, a chem warfare suit. If anyone is in the environment of anyone that has a virus that is so communicable that the spores are so small, you're going to get it. It's just a matter of time. First responders are getting this coronavirus. The hospital staff are getting the coronavirus. Anyone that is in the vicinity is going to be affected, and it's going to be exposed. Now, it's a matter of, is their immune system strong enough? Is their body strong enough? Can they handle the environment? So even the military, anyone that's walking into any area where there's suspect cases, they're already going to be judged by that virus. So it's already here. I don't care how many protection, they're going to invoke probably medical martial law in some way, quarantine. And I'm not even bothered if they make us get a mask, which they're not probably, but if right now they're taking the people from the Diamond Princess into there's one, I guess, FEMA camp in Alabama that is being opened up, a quarantine center. A quarantine center is like a place where you're going to have to resolve. Either you recover if you're sick or you die from your pre-existing conditions. That's what it comes down to. So, if you're going to get sick, you might as well stay home, do the J juice, and purge. Purge. Yeah, might feel fever. Yeah, you're gonna have, inflammation. Yeah, it's gonna suck when you get rid of all this excess antibodies in your body, because that's when you see skin conditions come up. Everything that you've ever dealt with is gonna come to surface. And it's not fun if you have eczema and psoriasis. Yeah, some of you have major plaque psoriasis. That's gonna come up. Oh, it's gonna suck. Yeah, I'm not saying it's fun. It's not fun when you're healing. But you have so many antibodies causing the destruction of your cells in your body and causing your chronic condition that you have to deal with it. You can't just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist, because it leaves you open for these other viruses to come in and wreak more havoc, and then you won't have what it takes to stay alive. Right now, you're hanging on by a freaking string. Okay, so maybe you only have psoriasis and that's it. But maybe you have heart conditions in your family. Maybe you have lung conditions in your family that you don't even know about. And if you're not doing the J juice, there's no antibiotic in the world. There's no freaking colloidal silver or kombucha in the world. It's going to freaking save you. Oh, yeah, you're seeing people promote all that in different groups. Oh, yeah, take mass amounts of sodium bicarbonate. People taking freaking baking soda. They're going to suffer heart attacks. You're going to see people do the stupidest shit. And I'm not saying a word. I'm not going to, because I'm tired of saying stuff in these groups. So that's why I've been kind of silent in these groups, actually. And I've been just sticking to my Facebook and all of you, and we're changing the salt, writing my book, whatever. Because you guys are going to be the ones that are going to be the example and stay alive. Even if people around you are going to drop like flies, you guys are going to be the example. Okay? And so I'm just saying, hey, here are the indicators. Act now. Get at least a couple months worth of food at least. Okay? Though, I mean, but yeah, there's a video I might put on my Facebook that, yeah, the way our system is run, because there's no possible way to have a system where you have enough food for everybody if they all deluge together. So if you know now that the coronavirus is out there and especially America, they are slowly and now accelerating the leak of that. We have cases here and cases there and more cases and more cases and more cases. At some point, people are going to get wind there's something brewing. They're going to go to the grocery store and they're going to go online and be like, oh my God, prep. Right now, Ohio isn't alerted. So I'm taking advantage of the fact people around me are not too concerned. But those of you, some of you live like in North Carolina, South Carolina, different place like Virginia, and you're seeing your shelves are being, your shelves are wiped out. I mean, there's no stuff there with some of the products you're looking for. And John Noakes says, I don't claim to be in the supreme health, but the more you speak, the more I realize my body's working very efficiently. Respect to the JJ, and the white salt badge is made and won't be going pink ever again. Good for you, John. So proud of you. You guys are going to be the example. Even if you're the only ones left in the UK, no, there'll be others that'll be around you that, but yeah, so take advantage. If you can take advantage of getting your supplies, getting the things that you may need that are going to run out. Like, I'm not worried about masks or body suits and all that shit. I'm just get like top ramen and peanut butter and just the stuff that could last a while, because you need to have sugar, you need to have fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals. So you need nutrients. That's in the cabbage and the kale. You need the salt, you need the sugar, you need the carbs or sugar, you need the acids, you need all of that stuff. Okay? You need all of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, so just get whatever that is inexpensive, and top ramen is just like, it's fine. Especially with the J juice, top ramen is fine. Okay? So so just yeah, and get a lot of salt. Like, get a lot of salt. Get your sugar, get your coffee, get whatever it is that you need to survive for however long, or that if they allow people to go like if they ration stuff on the shelf and they allow people to go to store for get enough to carry you through. I don't know how long though. I can't imagine it'd be like 6 months. But I mean, can you store 6 months worth of food? It's a lot of food for 6 months. But I mean, if you get a bunch of the freeze-dried food like top ramen, you can get a bunch of that. It's really inexpensive and cheap. Okay, you have the cabbage and kale. And yeah, you'll be healing too. But at this point, a little does go a long way. It's going to be hard to find fresh chicken, so get canned meat, get canned fish. Okay, when it comes to something like this, you guys go to the can. It doesn't have to be fresh. You can get canned fruits and canned meats and canned everything. I know I sound like an alarmist, but at this point, you've got to be. There's too many indicators. And the system right now in Ohio and in America, they can't afford everyone going to the grocery store at once. They can't. So if you guys know now that there's indicators, don't ignore them. Get your family prepared. Your medications, all of your diapers, whatever it is that you survive on, that if the storage shelves were empty, what would you be like? Holy crap. Okay. So anyways, I got stuff to do, but I just wanted to say hello. Happy Saturday. I probably won't be on tomorrow because my husband's gonna be home today. He was gone for a while. And so I'm just gonna leave you guys to your devices, but please go and prepare for whatever's coming up in the next week or so, they say. Okay? All right. Have a good day. Bye.